Have you ever dreamt of getting to flip the most prestigious TF2 Halloween unusuals and getting to play with them in casual, flexing on all those F2Ps as they make you hundreds of keys profit each? Well, my experience with Halloween unusuals tells a different story. About 6 months ago now, I bought a Demon Flame Brown Bomber for 1700 keys. I got it off of a fellow trader, and my reason for why I paid this much was because I just wanted to hold on to it to enjoy it, whilst I cherry picked offers that came my way, and I had a lot of keys at the time to spare. And when it landed into my inventory, it was a beauty. An all-class portal hat that looks pretty decent, was absolutely nuts to own for the first time. But really quickly, I already got bored of owning it. It looked good, but it changed absolutely nothing about my TF2 gaming experience other than the rare compliment. So I put it up for sale for over 2,000 keys, matching what other sellers were listing for. But for several months, I had to endure painfully time-wasting lowballs until eventually someone offered me a reasonable amount if it was sold for $3,300 in crypto. And I managed to get the transaction to work, and in the end I netted 178 keys profit after 4 months. That sounds really good, but the math tells a different story. From a purely profit-making mindset, I only netted a profit margin percentage of 10.47% in 4 months. If I spent the initial 1700 keys on various profitable items with a profit margin percentage between 15 to 30%, I would be making probably around double the profit in the same time frame. And as I sold more stuff, I could have even bought more items to resell in the same 4-month window as opposed to sitting on the Demon Flame Brown Bomber for the same amount of time. So that really shifted my approach to trading Halloween unusuals. I make much more profit by not falling for the aesthetic appeal to quote unquote enjoy in game, which I got bored of in under a week anyway, and I have instances where Halloween unusuals net me an excellent profit margin percentage in a relatively short time frame, such as my Dark Blaze Kappa's Kappa, which I bought for 775 keys and sold for 1111 keys, netting me 336 keys profit or 43.35% profit in 3.5 months. And by the way, if you're finally ready to make some real profit by being guided through each step specifically tailored to your needs, be sure to check out my school community in the top of the description. Firstly, I'll give an overview of what Halloween unusuals are. Halloween unusuals, also commonly referred to as just Halloweens, are your regular hats which can be an unusual quality. However, these ones in particular were obtained from a now expired special Halloween crate to give a rare special Halloween effect. And even though technically these crates have been expired to open for over 10 years, Halloweens can still be unboxed today through non-craftable, unlocked, creepy class-specific crates, such as this Spellbound Unusual that was unboxed in 2023, but they are insanely expensive and rare, and this will likely never happen again. The effects that count as a Halloween unusual are Cloudy Moon from Scream Fortress 2011, then everything else released in Scream Fortress 2012, 2013, and 2014. Everything else after 2014 doesn't count as their supply is too high and the aesthetic appeal isn't as good. Now let's go over my 5 most important tips for Halloween unusuals for when it comes to balancing profitability with personal enjoyment. Number 1. Personal satisfaction. If you're contemplating buying a Halloween unusual, ask yourself like I should have, do you genuinely like this unusual enough to actually keep a hold of it for months to years? You may not even realize it, but you could get bored of it extremely quickly and wind up getting stuck with it like I did with the Demon Flame Brown Bomber. I wanted to own a Halloween for months, and once I finally got one, I got bored of it within half a week. Just like anything else in life, the thought of desiring something is more pleasurable than actually experiencing it and liking it. For example, daydreaming about the vacation rather than actually experiencing it. The thought of Christmas rather than actually unboxing your presents. There's even scientific research to suggest that the brain has far more neural circuitry allocated for wanting rewards than for liking them. The wanting centers in the brain are large and include the brainstem, the nucleus accumbens, the ventral tegmental area, the dorsal striatum, the amygdala, and the prefrontal cortex. Whereas liking centers are referred to as hedonic hotspots which are scattered throughout the brain like tiny islands. You can see the contrast in satisfaction between wanting to own a Halloween versus actually owning one yourself. So if you are comfortable with holding onto a Halloween unusual money-wise, be my guest, but know that it's probably not as enjoyable as it seems. Number 2, affordability. If it's not already clear, Halloween unusuals are insanely expensive. They cost magnitudes more than their regular unusual counterparts. This is largely due to the extremely high demand with absolutely amazing unusual effects, paired with insanely low supply, and have been discontinued for over 10 years, with existing supply continuously dwindling into collectors' backpacks and never seeing the market again. Especially since 2020, their prices have skyrocketed from often being cheaper than Burning Flames to being 10 to 20 times more expensive in just a time frame of 1 to 2 years. And since the entry price of Halloween Unusuals starts at around 500 keys, only 0.001% of all TF2 players are willing to buy them off you for a reasonable price. If you think about it, when you join a casual server, maybe 1 or 2 other people are walking around with an unusual hat on, which already is probably quite cheap. So only the absolute richest people who happen to play TF2 will be willing to buy one for a reasonable price in accordance to the market. So I want you to consider if you can comfortably afford it, but also comfortably be able to wait several months on end because nearly no one can afford what you have to sell. Number 3, prepare for lowballs. In the last point, I mentioned barely anyone will take your listing price seriously. This then means that a lot of people will not take your listing price seriously, and you will be bombarded with traders who will offer you worthless garbage for your luxury unusuals. And again, I have to ask, are you prepared to have frequent lowballs coming your way, even if you haven't even listed your unusuals at all? The combination of Backpack.tf Premium and a ruthless trader will still find a way onto your friends list. It may sound like a minor inconvenience, but trust me, when you have to respond to so many friend requests and trade offers and negotiations nearly every day, it really takes a real toll on yourself and your time. Number 4, alternatives. If you're mostly in trading for the profit like I am, it's usually best to avoid trading with Halloween since there's barely any profitable ones left that can compete with alternate trading methods. My go-to items are the ones in my most profitable items video, which are your regular unusual hats, skins and war paints, and professional killstreak items. These are much more affordable for you and your potential buyers, plus their profit margins are often greater, resulting in more profit in a shorter amount of time. And as your backpack grows, there's no need to stop what you're doing. Simply stock up on even more unusual hats and skins and killstreakers, and the results compound. Personally, this is what I do and has worked wonders in making profit as I don't play the game much anymore. Number 5, my recommendation. I believe that there's one excellent way of flipping Halloween unusuals for maximum profit, and circumstances in which it's justifiable to buy one for certain people. If I was to say how you can profit off of Halloweens well, just treat them like you would with any other illiquid item. You don't go deliberately looking for them, but when you happen to come across one in your trading, cherry pick the one which has the highest profit margin percentage, a good history of past sales, and limited competition. This is what I did with the Dark Blaze Kappa's Kappa, which I bought after the Demon Flame Brown Bomber. Naturally, I saw it on the classifieds. Even though I loved the look of it, I saw it was relatively cheap. I held onto it for a bit as I played MBM Expert as heavy. Then when I stopped playing the game, I listed it on marketplace.tf for $2,000 and it sold for that amount, which is equivalent to 1,111 keys, netting me 336 keys profit or 43.35% profit margin in 3.5 months, which is a great trade. I think that if you really like a Halloween unusual for long-term keeps, and you're in a financially secure position, such as when you are at least capable of buying the Halloween unusual in question multiple times over, and still have enough money for your priority needs, then sure, go for it. The beauty in TF2 items is that in the worst case scenario, you'll get 90% of your money back, and the most realistic scenario is that you'll even make a little bit of profit because you've held onto an item with high demand and disappearing supply for such a long time. And that's all I have to say for Halloween unusuals in TF2 trading. I believe that overall they are a bit mediocre, but have their place in trading, and they are unbelievably aesthetic. Remember to check out the school community and free Discord server in the top of the description. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment regarding your experiences with Halloween unusuals, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!